Also happening today, a major development of the case against two former Uvalde CISD police officers. They're accused of child endangerment for their role in the Robb Elementary mass shooting in May of 2022.
A judge has ruled that the case will move forward. Cameras weren't allowed in court today, but we were set up just outside the Justice Center. The News 4i team's Jordan Elder was inside the courtroom and brings us the updates.
A judge ruled that former UCISD Chief Pete Arredondo's indictment will stand and this case will continue. Arredondo's team was trying to get his child endangerment charges thrown out because they say it was the gunman who put the children in danger, not Arredondo. The state argued that Arredondo didn't act and told other officers to stand down, which his attorneys denied.
This evidence is going to put Pete in a very different light than he has been painted so far. This man was really trying to save everybody.
Former UCISD officer Adrian Gonzalez and his attorneys were largely to the side today, Arredondo's team handling most of the arguments. However, Gonzalez's attorneys did let the judge know they plan to ask for the trial to be moved somewhere else. The judge set a trial date for October 2025, but both sides say that's a long shot and they expect the actual trial date to be much later. That's largely due to the mountain of evidence both sides have to go through. And we learned they don't even have all of it yet. In the last hearing, attorneys said they were struggling to get unredacted copies of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection report on the Uvalde tragedy, and that problem has not gone away. Both sides are now ready to file for a court order, hoping a judge will force CBP to hand over those witnesses. The small courtroom was packed today, including about 24 family members of victims and survivors from Robb Elementary School. Many of them wore shirts or jewelry with their children's faces on them.
Justice needs to be served, and if it takes 3-4 years, then so be it. Just I want some justice.
Arredondo and Gonzalez are the only two police officers charged for their role in the tragedy that day, though almost 400 officers were at that scene in total. Reporting in Uvalde, I'm Jordan Elder.
New at 6 o'clock, emotions are running high outside of a court appearance in Uvalde. A judge denied the motion to toss the indictment for former school district police chief Pete Arredondo.
You just saw the moment Brett and Nikki Cross were escorted out of the Justice Building before the hearing started. They say they were assaulted by deputies. They were the legal guardians of Uzziah Garcia, who was killed in the Robb Elementary shooting.
The News 4i team's Jordan Elder was inside the courtroom for all of these developments, and our cameras were outside for that emotional confrontation.
There was a lot of action before the hearing even started today. When we were sitting in the courtroom, we could hear yelling and commotion on the other side of the doors. And then a few family members of Robb Elementary survivors and victims came in and told us that Brett Cross, who is the guardian of Uzziah Garcia, had been escorted out.
I don't know why that we got kicked out. Can any one of y'all tell me?
No. I said, how do you like that?
You got pissed off because I said.
This just shows how high emotions still run when it comes to this tragedy. There were about 24 family members in the courtroom today, sitting in the front 2 rows. A lot of them had on shirts with their children's faces on them or other types of jewelry to honor them. Some of the parents we spoke to tell us they are happy that the judge denied that motion to quash Arredondo's indictment.
I guess call it a small win, but we're just looking for justice, and we're going to keep on fighting.
Arredondo's attorneys were arguing that it was the gunman that put the children in danger and not Arredondo. However, the state says he still had a responsibility to protect those children, and you don't have to create the danger in order to be responsible for it. We also learned today that both sides are still waiting on evidence for Customs and Border Protection. They're hoping to get unredacted copies of that report so they can have access to some of those witnesses who were inside Robb Elementary that day. We got to ask Javier Cazares about the potential trial in 2025. Here's what he told us.
I want it, as long as it takes, and as long as it's done right, and I'm happy with that. Justice needs to be served, and if it takes 3-4 years, then so be it. Just I want some justice.
We do expect a few more pre-trial hearings before the main trial takes place. Again, the judge tentatively set that for October of 2025, but both sides say they do not believe that is going to come to fruition. There are mountains of evidence that they have to go through. They're expecting it to actually be much later. Reporting in Uvalde, I'm Jordan Elder.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to get all the latest news right here.